I think I just gave the building a lobotomy, Jack whispered. The blackout lasted 12 hours. The entire neighborhood ended up on the sidewalk, sleeping on blankets to catch the ocean breeze. The trio, the Ropers, and even Larry ended up sharing a giant bucket of melting ice cream and telling stories under the stars. Chapter 14, The Charity Date Auction. The Regal Beagle was hosting a bachelor auction for the Santa Monica Children's Fund, and Larry Dallas had decided that Jack Tripper was his star prize. Think about it, Jack. You're a chef. Women love a man who can handle a whisk. You'll be the hottest ticket in town, Larry insisted, pushing a tuxedo jacket onto Jack's shoulders. I don't know, Larry. This feels like human trafficking, Jack said, struggling with the bow tie. It's for the kids. Jack, don't you like kids? The auction started with a handsome lifeguard who went for $50. Larry, acting as Jack's manager, started the bidding for Jack at a whopping $75. Who will give me $80 for the master of the kitchen? Larry barked. Shauna and Chrissy were in the front row, giggling into their cocktails. I'll give you $5 to take him away, Shauna yelled. Suddenly, a hand went up in the back. A voice rang out, $100. Jack squinted into the spotlights. It was a beautiful woman in a stunning red dress. Jack's heart skipped a beat. Maybe Larry was right. Maybe he was the hottest ticket in town. But then the bidding escalated. Another hand went up. $150. It was Helen Roper. Jack's jaw dropped. Mrs. Roper, what are you doing? Stanley is out bowling. Jack, and I haven't had a decent dinner since the bicentennial, Helen shouted. The bidding war continued until Helen won Jack for $200. The date turned out to be a 3-hour lecture at the Ropers' kitchen table about why Stanley was the most boring man in the Northern Hemisphere, while Jack cooked grilled cheese sandwiches because Stanley had locked the spice cabinet. At least it was for the kids. Jack, Shauna laughed as he crawled back upstairs at midnight. Chapter 15, Larry's Pyramid of Profits. Larry Dallas had a new business opportunity. He called it Vigor Life, a revolutionary health drink that was 90% sugar and 10% neon blue dye. It's not a pyramid scheme, Jack. It's a multi-level marketing community, Larry explained, gesturing to a chart that looked exactly like a pyramid. You sell to 10 people. They sell to 10 people. By next month, you'll be driving a Ferrari. Jack, desperate for rent money after the date auction fiasco, agreed to become a distributor. He recruited Chrissy, who was surprisingly good at it because she genuinely believed the blue liquid could cure anything from a hangnail to a bad mood. I drank a bottle this morning, and I felt so energized I cleaned the entire bathroom with a toothbrush. Chrissy beamed. That's just the sugar rush. Chrissy, Jean sighed, reading the label. Jack, this stuff says it's also used as an industrial degreaser. Jack tried to sell a case to Stanley Roper. It'll give you the vitality of a 20-year-old. Mr. Roper. Stanley took a sip, turned a light shade of lavender, and immediately chased Jack out of the building with a rake. I already have vitality. I have the vitality of a man who doesn't drink blue floor cleaner. The pyramid of profits collapsed when Larry accidentally drank a whole gallon and had to spend 3 days in a dark room because the color blue was screaming at him. Jack ended up with 30 cases of Vigor Life, which Jana eventually used to fertilize her petunias. The petunias turned neon blue and grew for feet high in a single night. Chapter 16, The Plumbing Predicament. The kitchen sink in apartment 201 had been gurgling for 3 days. It sounded like a drowning walrus. I'll tell Roper, Jana said, reaching for the phone. No, don't tell him. He'll just blame us for putting too much lettuce down the drain, Jack said, rolling up his sleeves. I'll fix it. I've watched the repairman. It's just a pipe thing. Jack crawled under the sink with a wrench he had borrowed from Larry, who claimed it was a magic wrench. He started twisting. There was a loud clunk, followed by a high-pitched hiss. Jack, what was that? Chrissy asked, leaning over his shoulder. Just pressure. It's a good sign. Suddenly, the pipe burst. A geyser of freezing water shot out, hitting Jack square in the face. He scrambled backward, knocking over a bottle of dish soap. Within seconds, the kitchen floor was a 6-inch deep lake of bubbles. Jack, we're sinking. Jana screamed, wading into the room. Stanley Roper, hearing the commotion from below, burst through the door. What are you doing? I hear rain in the hallway. He saw the kitchen. He saw Jack, soaked to the bone and covered in soap suds, trying to plug the pipe with a loaf of French bread. A loaf of bread? Tripper, you're trying to stop the Pacific Ocean with a baguette, Stanley roared. The flood eventually reached the ground floor. Helen Roper spent the afternoon floating on a rubber raft in her living room, drinking gin and tonics, while Stanley shouted at a plumber, I wanted a pool. Stanley, I just didn't expect it to be in the foyer. Helen laughed. Jack had to pay for the repairs by cooking dinner for the Ropers every night for a month. He learned one valuable lesson. Never trust a wrench from Larry Dallas. Chapter 17, The Secret Admirer. Jana arrived home from work with a mysterious bouquet of lilies. There was no card, just a small, pink envelope with her name written in elegant, flowing script. Oh, Jana, a secret admirer. Chrissy squeal, jumping up and down. Maybe it's that handsome doctor who bought the dozen roses yesterday. Jana blushed, sniffing the flowers. Inside the envelope was a note. To the woman who brightens my world. Meet me at the Regal Beagle tonight at 8. I'll be wearing a white carnation. Jack was skeptical. A white carnation. That's a bit old-fashioned, isn't it? Probably a serial killer. Or worse, a mimeo machine repairman. Jana spent 3 hours getting ready. She wore her favorite silk dress and enough perfume to scent a small village. When she arrived at the Beagle, She saw a man sitting in the corner booth with a white carnation pinned to his lapel. She approached him, her heart thumping. "Hello, are you the one who sent the lilies?" The man turned around. It was Stanley Roper. John F. Rose. "Mr. Roper, you're my secret admirer?"